Oh, hello. This video is about two-way tables, and in it we are going to construct and interpret two-way frequency tables of data when two categories are associated with each object being classified. We are going to talk about joint, marginal, and conditional relative frequencies. So, a two-way table is a useful way to organize data that can be categorized by two variables. Suppose you ask, for example, let's say you ask 20 children and adults whether they like broccoli. This table shows one of the ways that you could arrange the data, with a row for children and a row for adults. The joint relative frequencies are the values in each category divided by the total number of values. So since these numbers all add to 20, if I divide each number by 20, I have the joint relative frequencies. How did I get the 0.15? I did 3 divided by 20. Now, the marginal relative frequencies are found by adding the joint relative frequencies in each row and column. So if we add up each row going across and we add up each column going down and get the totals, those totals are the marginal relative frequencies. And notice that the marginal relative frequencies add to 1. It should add to 1 every time. That's how you can know you're right. To find the conditional relative frequency, divide the joint relative frequency by the marginal relative frequency. Now, when you divide those two things, really what you're finding are the conditional probabilities. So, let's say, for example, you want to find the probability of being a child given, yes, that person likes broccoli. So since we're given that we know we're talking about just the people who like broccoli, you have to add up the column for yes. That adds to 0.5. Then we do how many children in that column, and that's the 0.15. So we divide those things. That's the conditional probability, called the conditional relative frequency. Or we could have the probability that you do not like broccoli given that you're an adult. So now we have to add up all the adults. The entire row here for the adults is 0.45. And then how many of the adults do not like broccoli? 0.1. Dividing those two things gives us the conditional relative frequency. Here's an example. This table shows the results of randomly selecting car insurance quotes for 125 cars made by an insurance company in 1 week. Let's see if we can change this table to be a joint and marginal relative frequency table. Okay, and then let's see if we can use our table to answer this question. If you are given that a driver is a teen, what is the probability that they have 2 or more accidents? Okay, so in order to change the table into a joint relative frequency table, we need to divide each value by 125 because that's the total. Okay, and then we're going to add each row and column. So when I take the table from previously and divide each number by 125, these are the values that I got on the inside. Then we add up the columns for teen and adult, and we add up each row going across to get the totals. Please notice that each of the total columns and rows add to 1. What is the probability of having 2 or more accidents given teen? Well, we add up the column for teens, and we already have that to be 0.224. And then how many teens have had 2 or more accidents? That's 0.072. Dividing those will give us our conditional probability of about 32%. Another example, let's say the company sells items in a store online through a catalog. A manager records whether or not 50 sales made one day were paid for with a gift card. Use conditional probabilities to determine which method a customer is most likely to pay with a gift card. Okay, so we take our table and we're going to change it from just being a two-way table into being a joint conditional table by dividing each number here by 50, since there were 50 sales made. So we divide each one by 50, and we have our joint marginal frequencies. And adding up each column here gives us our totals. The probability that someone bought it with a gift card, assuming that they were in the store, we're going to divide these two numbers, and a gift card if in the store is 0.4%. In order to find out if they used a gift card given that they were online, okay, we're going to come to the online category and divide the 0.44, the 0.18, which is how many people bought gift cards online, with the total for that category, which is 0.44, and gift card online is 0.41. Probability of gift card using the catalog, okay, we have the total for the catalog, all right, and the number of people who bought gift cards on the catalog, 0.10, we divide those two, and we have 0.38. So the highest percentage here was gift card online. So if they use a gift card, they have a higher percentage of doing so online. All right, so we have our joint relative frequencies, which we take the table and divide by the total. We have our marginal relative frequencies, where we add each column and each row to find the totals. And we have our conditional relative frequency, which is when we divide the two previous things, one of the totals from the row with one of the values from inside the table. And that is it for this lesson. Great job.